What is good? What is good? It's Atum Ray El Bay, and we back again with another live. Today's topic is young Dolph actually sacrificed himself. I'm gonna need y'all to have y'all third eye wide the fuck open during this live stream. Real talk, because we're about to go really deep, and this might go over some of y'all head if you're not at the spiritual vibratory frequency in order to really understand what is going on, because what I'm about to talk to y'all about is deep occult science. You feel what I'm saying? Like, what I'm talking to y'all about is about the unseen realms, right? So if you still dealing with the lower chakra shit, if your main focus is always about what you can only see with your physical eyes, then this message is gonna go over your head because you ain't even tapped in on that type of level. All right, so let's keep the bullshit to a minimum in the comment section, but we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. So first off, I'm going to tell y'all like this. Young Dolph actually sacrificed himself. There is several different hints, several different messages y'all would know if you were actually studying in the occult, right? One thing y'all got to realize is that the symbolism is applied across the board, okay? So when you're dealing with seeing this all-seeing eye, when you're dealing with seeing this pyramid with the eye at the top of it, when you're dealing with people talking about sacrifice, one thing that you have to understand is that everything goes in alignment with universal law. Okay, when you're talking about dealing with universal law and alignment, what you're talking about is dealing with going the path of your destiny. Everybody is not supposed to be billionaires or bajillionaires or even have that much type of attention. And I'm not coming from a hate type of standpoint here. What I'm telling y'all is that on average, everybody is supposed to come into contact or be in contact with a certain amount of people. And in the music industry, what they do is they use and manipulate certain energies of the unseen in order to project out a specific frequency so that one individual is able to influence a mass number of people. And what comes along with that is the type of fame, the type of fortune that comes along with that. I'm not hating at all. I know some people were like, oh, you fucking hating and shit like that. What the fuck do I have to hate on a nigga that's dead for? Like, I have nothing to hate on. But what I'm here to do is wake you the fuck up on how these energies work. Everybody has an astrology chart. Everybody has a birth chart. And in that birth chart, you can actually see throughout the 12 different houses, all the different aspects of your life and what your actual destiny is. Now, when you're talking about making these certain deals with these companies, right? What you're talking about is fucking around with that type of energy. You're fucking around with universal law. When you fuck around with universal law, okay, and step outside of the paradigm that is already set within your destiny, what's already set within your parameters of what you're able to accomplish and what you're able to do, how many people you're able to reach during the time that you're in this physical body, what you'll notice is that there has to be some type of balance. In this reality that we live in, there's something called universal law. There's something called duality, right? So instead of an individual, this is why you see a lot of the individuals, how can I say this? A lot of these mainstream rappers, a lot of these people that come out, you'll notice that a lot of the people die around them, okay? Like, take Lil Durk, for example. This man, whole fucking team that got bumped off. You feel what I'm saying? But Lil Durk is steady on the climb. You feel what I'm saying? If you look Chief Keef, for example, his mans is getting bumped off, but they're still at a consistent state to where they're performing at these major festivals and they're not getting forgotten. Do you feel what I'm saying? The reason this works is because the energetic sacrifices that they're making allow for the universe to continue to propel them forward. And these companies that they deal with understand the occult science behind it. Do you really think that these artists are putting out this type of imagery, this type of symbology? They're not occult scientists, right? When you're looking at this all-seeing pyramid, you're looking at these sigils, you're looking at the occult hidden symbolism within inside of these videos. That is magic being done in order to pull and draw people in on a subconscious level to be attracted to the artist's music. It don't matter what the fuck the artist is saying. We're dealing with sounds and vibratory frequencies. When everything is about vibratory frequency, just like you walk in a room and if your aura ain't on point, then guess what? You're going to pick up negative energy off of somebody else. The same thing goes with the music. It is occult witchcraft, which is being used for something that's negative. And when I say occult witchcraft, I know if you got a Christian background, you don't want to hear this shit and be like, oh, there ain't nothing that can be good about occult witchcraft. Listen to me. All right? Listen to me. Excuse me for a second. So when you're dealing with occult witchcraft and you're dealing with science, all you're dealing with is the universal laws of how energy works. What separates a solid, a liquid from a gas? The vibratory frequency that it is vibrating at. Okay? So you going from higher than a gas state, then you starting to deal with the spiritual realms. You starting to deal with the plasma realms. You go higher than the plasma realm, you starting to deal with the ethereal realm. You go higher than the ethereal realm, and you starting to deal with the astral realm. You go higher than the astral realm, and you starting to deal with the multidimensional. It's all based on the separation of vibratory frequency. And one thing y'all got to understand in this cult science, like y'all see with that Baphomet that a lot of people think that they worship, which is actually symbology of the laws that they use in order to manipulate this reality. We're talking about as above, so below. For just as high as you can possibly go, and the most enlightened, most light being that you can think about, there is an entity or beings or energies that exist that is equal and opposite to that. So what you got to understand is that when you're talking about that tree of life, where you have the branches going up and then you have the branches going down, all that is showing and showing you is duality, and how each one of these branches has an intricate, detailed, persuasive, and how can you say it, definitive effect on this reality based on where they all connect at. And what we're talking about here, where they're all connecting at, is the young Dolph sacrificing himself. Okay, there's a reason why. You know, people want to be like, oh, he didn't take the deal, and oh, he was beefing with Yo Gotti. Listen, when two men got that much kind of fucking money, they not willing to throw it away or have anybody. They've been in the same city for how fucking long, and neither one of them still got bumped off. What I'm trying to tell y'all is this. What young Dolph did is step outside of his universal paradigm. They wanted him to take the deal, and in order to take the deal, he would have to sacrifice someone, right? Because you cannot have that much money and come from where we come from and not sacrifice or show your allegiance to the darkness, to the dark side, right? And through the dark side, they want you to go against your morals. So that means to give up a piece of yourself, give up a piece of your morality, give up a part of yourself that is going to guarantee that you're going to be stuck within that contract on a vibrational frequency level. Okay. It's not about, oh, you may just give up this person, and because I gave up the person that I love, the person that was in my camp, now all of a sudden I'm gonna be successful. That's not what that's about. What I'm telling you is all energy vibratory frequency based. The more of these rituals that they do, they're lowering their soul frequency to the point where they can even sustain that type of level of money, sustain that type of level of fame, right? Because that type of level of fame requires a certain amount of energy, because what we're talking about with that type of energy that an individual is embodying when they get into these type of soul contracts, when they get into these deals, we're talking about the lower realms. We're talking about the hell state. It's not a place that you can actually go. It is a state of mind. It is a state of spiritual being. So when you're talking about the chakra system, which you got the crown chakra that connects you to your ancestors. You got the third eye chakra. That's your spiritual vision, which you can use to be able to see beyond physicality. You got the throat chakra, which you use to communicate and express yourself. You got the heart chakra, which you use to love and receive love. Then you have the solar plexus chakra, which is responsible for the ego. The solar plexus chakra is the inner fire. That is the first state of the lower hell, right? When a person is overindulging themselves and all they want to do is attract and vamp energy off of others and want to consume the attention of others, right? This is where the whole fan thing comes from. In order to even get to a state like that, you have to be in an imbalanced state within your solar plexus chakra in order to want to do things just for, quote unquote, the fame or the clout, right? Then you move down to the sacral chakra where the music is affected, money, cars, bitches, hoes, right? The whole sexual energy, the same energy that you're supposed to use to create and to bring forth out spiritual creation or energetic creation. When your sacral chakra is out of balance, you bring that into the sexual energy. So every time you hear in these music videos and in these music songs and they talking about the sacral chakra, what they definitely doing, or they talking about sex, they're tapping into your sacral chakra and draining your life force energy. Why do you think Pornhub is free? Why do you think X videos is free? Whatever the fuck these next porn sites is, why do you think that they're free? You got to pay for everything else. What, porn is free? What the fuck? You need to click in your head. These people are draining you on a spiritual, energetic level. Now think about it like this. When you get to the root chakra, the very base of your tree of life, okay? The tree, you know how they was like in the Garden of Eden? Oh, don't eat from the forbidden fruit, the tree of life, the tree of knowledge and good and evil, right? The tree of life is your chakra system. The root chakra is pertaining to everything based on survivability. So when you're talking about beefing with niggas, when you're talking about fighting niggas, when you're talking about fuck that nigga, you're talking about I gotta get my bills paid, money over everything, get rich till I die trying. All of that is root chakra energy. Do you feel what I'm saying? If you feel what I'm saying, go ahead and share this video right now. So check this out. What I'm telling y'all is that in order to get these deals, that individual must seal themselves within their lower chakras, okay? Once they are sealed within their lower chakras, that is what you would call technically selling your soul to the devil, right? Because who is the devil? The devil controls hell. So when you're talking about these contracts, when you're talking about doing the deals with the Illuminati, it's not one person. Okay, it is an energy that exists within this realm that an individual can tap into, and there's individuals in the quote unquote occult that deal with these sciences. I'm gonna tell you you know how it says in the Bible, the Jews that call themselves Jews, but they really the Synagogue of Satan. They understand that they're not actually real Jews. The real Jews are the Native American indigenous tribes of America who look exactly like me. We the real fucking Jews, because if you do your fucking history, you can go in and look and see that all of the ancient pyramids and all of the things that are here in South America show you the symbology and have Jewish or Hebrew writing on it, which the Hebrew language is the magic occult language. But we ain't even gonna get that deep into this right now. When you study the Kabbalah, the tree of the Kabbalah, that is Hebrew. Hebrew ain't just thinking black Jesus is coming back to save you. Hebrewism is understanding the laws of the universe and understanding how to manipulate these elements to control your reality, because we gods. But I ain't gonna get into all of that. Let's talk about the Synagogue of Satan, right? Since everybody want to talk about Illuminati. The Synagogue of Satan are individuals that was passed down this occult science, this occult information that they don't want you to know, because they want you to think that there is nothing beyond this realm besides hell, heaven or hell, when you actually living in either heaven or hell right now as we speak, because you create your own reality. And if you don't control your own mind, somebody else will, and they do it through this technologies. But I'm just going to break this thing down for you. Whenever you get down and you start to do a ritual, you're doing it based on an individual's astrology. So you have to look at what their potential is, right? This is why some rappers pop off and continue to stay consistent and some rappers don't. They're looking for individuals that can control the masses, that have it naturally within them. But what they do is they put it on steroids, going against universal law with the magic. They put their natural potential on steroids, going against universal law. And when they go against the universal law, there has to be a sacrifice made in order to balance out the duality, so that they can continue to do this. And what is that sacrifice? That sacrifice is energetic. Sometimes a family member dies. Sometimes a partner or them is going to die. But in this case, I say young Dolph sacrificed himself, right? Because there was nobody that died immediately around him. He turned down a $22 million deal, right? Which meant that he had to have a short run. What he did was he got to a specific point and realized, hey, it's not worth me taking out anybody on my team, anybody that I love. I'm not willing to sell my soul. Even though I might not have been putting out the right message, I'm not about to fully sell out my soul in order to maintain or continue to grow in this industry, because everything that I have set up is already good for my family and for my people. You feel what I'm saying? You talking about, oh, well, why would anybody sacrifice himself for a father and he got shot up? Listen to me. The way these energies work is you can't look at what happened in the physical. You got to understand what drove the physical action from the spirit. Because just because an individual got shot up, okay, what if he did have beef? And what? He still had the energy out, because people can have beef and continue to live on for years. But when you're putting out a certain type of energy, and there's levels to everything, eventually that energy is going to come back. And the reason it came back in the way that it did is because of the type of energy that he condoned, that he put out. He went against his own universal law to get to the point that he was at in the first fucking place. And so when the time came, in order for quote unquote the devil to cash in on that duality, on that energy, to make it right, because everything goes in universal law, everything goes into balance, guess what happened? He chose himself. He chose himself. He chose himself over anybody else that was around him. Why was he there by himself? I mean, if he's this big and all of this, you got people with you all the time, and he was the only one. He knew what time it was. He knew when it was going to happen. He told you in the previous album. Some people say that he's mocking it and all of that. But what y'all got to understand is this. All of his lyrics really was just about bitches, cars, killing niggas who fuck with him, money, things of that nature, and I guess you can say some street game. You feel me? And with that street game, he also put in little hints about the type of energies that they was dealing with, as far as, you know, in that first bar, he said, if I sacrifice myself, will I go to hell? Do you feel what I'm saying? Why would an individual say that? It's because they understood that they were at the crossroads. And when you're dealing with the crossroads in spirituality, the crossroads represents two paths you can go. And those two paths that intersect are both represented by positive and negative energy. They got to come together at some point in time. And it's going to come together. So you either live fast, live quick, get it all while you're here, and choose to allow yourself to be taken out early, which I'm just going to tell y'all something. Lil Uzi Vert is next. Okay, little Uzi Vert is next. He's the next one to die. He already told you he was gonna die at 27. So next year, little Uzi Vert gonna die. Mark my words, you heard it here first. The reason why this is happening is because guess who? You never heard about nobody dying around little Uzi Vert. You never heard about no family members and shit getting bumped off with little Uzi Vert. And I don't even be into this rap shit. You feel what I'm saying? Shit just be popping up on my feeds and stuff like that. But what I'm here to tell y'all is this, though. What I'm here to tell y'all is this. There has to be some type of energetic balance, okay? That's why when you do a normal spell, like let's say you're doing some type of court case spell or some type of or you doing some type of any type of ritual or any type of magic, which that is what we do. This is what Ashley and myself do. We own a metaphysical business called ashleygrounding.com. Y'all can come to me and get your tarot card readings, your natal chart readings, and your spiritual consultations, because I deal with more than just this rap shit. But it just seemed like this post just went fucking crazy. You get what I'm saying? And I ain't expect all them fucking, you know, zombies to share that shit, like real talk, because there's a lot of people that just gonna go over your head. That's why in the title I said you gotta have that third eye open. So understanding this, that everybody has a tree of life within you, okay? And that tree of life is divided in the middle between the heart chakra and the solar plexus chakra. Everything beneath you, every chakra beneath you, which is the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root chakra, is considered to be hell. Everything above you is considered to be heaven. And we're talking about energetic frequencies here. In order for anything to exist, there has to be some type of balance. This realm is built off of duality. And in order for an individual to get to these certain heights that you see, to where they're blasted all over the media, all over the frequencies, which are controlled by who? The Synagogue of Satan, who understand these ancient sciences, because before we went to sleep as a people, okay, the real Hebrews, the real Jews, before we went to sleep as people, we had the science. We understood how these laws work, but we in the age of Aquarius now. Before the age of Aquarius was the age of the Pisces, so that we could all go through this and achieve, spiritual ascension, by having a spiritual death, right? By us falling asleep spiritually, it got a chance for us to not be the rulers and the dominators of this realm, so we could get a dualistic experience within inside of this realm that we live in. All right. Now, what's happened is the people who inherited the information are now using it to control us, and now we done forgot who the fuck we are. This magic is nothing but occult science, universal law, understanding how the elements and the energies work. When you're dealing with astrology, you're dealing with the fact that the stars project down specific energies. You know how people be like, oh, retrograde, you feel what I'm saying? Oh man, this shit fucked up, man. This retrograde, damn, got me fucked up. Oh girl, this retrograde. You know, this is because these energies literally project down into this reality and get in tune with what vibratory frequency your chakras are on, because your chakras emit a specific frequency out into the universe. It goes into the universe's chakras, or it goes into the planetary chakras, and that's what causes your reality to be created. Okay, we live in a holographic matrix that is basically determined by your emotions and vibratory frequency. That's why these situations happen. That's why usually when the thing that you don't want to happen the most happens, because that's what you give the most focus and you give the most energy to. Okay, whatever you're trying to manifest, whatever you're trying to get done, if you decide to take out all the doubt, you decide to take out all of the fear, you're naturally going to emit that into the universe, and the universe is going to reciprocate that back unto you. Right? This is what they don't want you to know, because if everybody knew this, then everybody would be living their life purpose instead of being caught in hell in their root chakra, trying to work for somebody else's desires in order to survive in this physical reality. That's where the slavery comes from. Okay, that's how the slavery aspect came into play. But as we're waking up to our godhood, a lot more people are starting to dive into the unseen, because remember, the result of the physical is a direct result of the spiritual, right? So you can't even have physicality if you don't have the spirit. Okay, so when you're talking about the unseen and these spiritual energies and astrology symbols, everything that happened in your life I can see within your birth chart. Everything that's going to happen in your life I can see within your birth chart. Every single one of your relationships, everything that you experienced as a child, I can see that within your birth chart. Okay, and because the stars actually have projected down already what type of energies you're able to come into contact with, and based off of your current vibratory frequency is what determines how that situation actually manifests. All right, there's 9 planets in the solar system, Mercury being the one of communication. This is why people usually fall out with each other, because an aspect of communication is being revealed, because usually people don't say how they feel up front. But when that Mercury retrograde comes around, now things are coming out that they was holding back throughout the whole time. So we're talking about freeing up boundaries and things of that nature, or setting boundaries that should have been set before, or cutting people off that should have been cut off because it was a vampiric energetic relationship with that individual. Yeah, see, this shit gets deep, right? This shit gets real deep, right? A person's throat chakra been blocked for years, right? And all of a sudden the Mercury retrograde come around with the full moon happen to be in the house of their own moon sign, and next thing you know, they have a different energy about them. They not willing to take that shit no more. And so the Mercury retrograde fucks up what that other individual had going with them, because everybody, you either in control of yourself or you're controlling somebody else. This whole thing is about energetic manipulation. You got to control somebody's emotions before you control their mind, and then once you control the mind, then their actions are coming next, right? So it goes emotional, spiritual, mental, and then physical. All right, you got to understand these 3 things, right? Mind, body, spirit. And so when you have people's balances off as far as their chakra system and things of that nature, this is why you see them in fucked up situations within their life, or you see certain things happen. What y'all dealing with these rappers and shit like that is people with the most fucked up chakra systems, and they're exalting the people that are at the lowest states that they could possibly be in, right? Because what they do is they give them false value, right? They give them these jewelry and these things that don't mean anything. Y'all think these diamonds is worth something. It's actually the least fucking valuable rock that's on the goddamn planet. The most valuable rocks are actually the fucking crystals, the lapis lazulis, the amethyst, the fucking onyx, the tourmalines. Those are the real fucking diamonds. Those are the most valuable, because what they do is they control energetic frequency. That diamond ain't shit, okay? But what they do is they give you a false value on the physical, when the spiritual is the highest meaning, right? So back to young Dolph, it was a sacrifice for himself. He chose to have a short run in order to be able to not have to have anybody else be sacrificed that he was close to. Do you feel what I'm saying? Now, the reason why I say that all of them sold their soul out is simple. They trapped in their root chakras. They trapped in a hell state. And so they're projecting that same hell state out and making it seem like it's something that's supposed to be what everybody needs to indulge in. But it's really trapping people into their own hell state, because all the music does is pertain to and cater to everything within every individual's lower self. Okay, you got the lower self, the higher self. You got heaven and you have hell. The higher self is pertaining to the heart chakra, loving and caring about everybody and understanding your own connection to everybody. Then you got the throat chakra, being able to communicate in a proper way, which a lot of us have generational curses on us that prevent us from communicating properly, right? If you try to communicate something when somebody doesn't agree with you, then boom, next thing you know, they're getting so upset and angry, and then it flares up in the root chakra, and then that could turn into something physical because the communication is off. The egos are so fragile, right? Because we're not in balance, right? And then, of course, everybody's third eye is fucking blocked off. And, you know, the church tell you not to open up the third eye. They don't want you seeing what's really going on in the spirit realm, right? All the church want to do is milk your ass for that fucking, that tithe, right? Because the preacher is the new pimp these days. Do you feel what I'm saying? All he want to do is give you temporary relief, temporary hope, when all actuality, the Bible is one of the biggest occult magic books in the fucking game right now. The Bible is full of spells. The Bible is full of fucking curses. The Bible is full of occult science and metaphysical science, but it's put in metaphors and allegory. Because if you look at it the wrong way, you could be enslaved to worshiping a deity that didn't even exist until that book was written. What I'm here to tell y'all is that all of those religions those were made for the individuals that we passed down the true knowledge to while we was in the height, right? Because certain individuals was not even on the level to even understand this type of spirituality shit that I'm talking about right now. So we gave them religion to give them some type of how can you say it? We gave them religion to give them some type of sustainability so they could embody something to have some type of morals and values within themselves. And that was the basic level of spirituality. That's what religion is. You feel what I'm saying? Religion is just the most bare bones level of fucking occult science you can possibly get, and all of the true information is coded behind these different words and things of that nature, right? So that's why you got all the stories seem the same. You feel what I'm saying? All the way down from Jesus and the 12 disciples. You got the sun and the 12 planets. You feel what I'm saying? Like, there's no coincidence there. Each one of the 12 disciples embodied literally the energy of every single energetic planet. You feel what I'm saying? Every planet has a specific energy that puts out its certain frequencies to control this reality, right? So when you're looking at these stories, you got to look at the metaphor, you got to look at the allegory. That's just one example. You also got all of these Greek gods and all of these different Greek myths and things of that nature. When you're looking at the Greek gods, when you're looking at the myths from every single culture, it's all talking about the same energy. They just using different names to personify this energy, to simplify it, because we all went into the sleep state. I'm an Aquarius in the Aquarian age, so me looking at this shit comes easy to me. But if y'all looking at all these different religions, you're gonna be like, oh, there's so many religions, there's so many deities. I don't see so many deities. I see fucking 9 planets, and I see 12 zodiac signs. And every religion, every type of fucking every cult, every single mythology is all talking about all the same shit. They just changed the names of it. When you really start to see this shit with your third eye, you'll understand. You feel what I'm saying? Even in Kemetic spirituality, you got the Kemetic tree of life. You feel what I'm saying? You're talking about Osiris and Isis. You're talking about Heru. Heru represents the Kundalini, the energy that rises when all of your chakras are in balance. When you're talking about Set, you're talking about dealing with the ego within the lower realms. And you got to understand that your chakra is a wheel that emits energy that pulls reality to you. It goes out into the universe reflects back that energy, and then situations manifest based off of the energetic frequency that you're emitting. You in control of your reality. But the science was used to be put into the social media, to be put into the TV, to trap people in their lower realms, so everybody's not even aware of what's going on the energetic basis, just constantly bombarded by demons, reptilian energies getting your ass sucked fucking dry. Real talk. Like, every time you entertain into something that is negatively, emotionally invoking, there are energies and entities that exist that you cannot see unless your third eye is open, that is feeding off your ass like a fucking parasite. Just like that nigga or that woman that you in a relationship with, and every time they turn around, they got something negative to say to your fucking ass, so they can steal the little bit of energy that you just built up for yourself to keep yourself sane. Right? These parasitic, toxic relationships, this demonic possession. Do you feel what I'm saying? But we ain't here to get that deep. We was here to talk about young Dolph. But see, I'm waking y'all the fuck up today. You feel what I'm saying? I'm waking y'all up today. Right? But there's a healing process. So I don't want y'all to go into this perception, even though you might heard some shit like damn, that's deep, right? There's a healing process that our ancestors knew about, that I also teach, that the ancestors sat down with me personally to show y'all how to heal. Not everybody is a healer. Not everybody is a teacher. That is a gift, right? We're in the Aquarian age right now where information is endless. Information comes out, but somebody has to be able to consolidate that information and be able to present it to you so that you can take the knowledge and apply it, which turns that knowledge into wisdom. Knowledge, that's just knowing shit. Okay, the difference between a person that just sit up here and talk, you have to take a look at their life. I'm a father of 5. I'm a husband, been with my same wife for the past fucking 12 years. We homeschool our children. Our last 3 children were at home births. I delivered them. You get what I'm saying? No doulas, none of that type of shit. You feel me? We started this metaphysical business, Ashley's Grounding. I do personal readings. I do meditative healing sessions that show you how to go deep within your subconscious mind, deep into your soul, to balance out these spiritual iniquities that you have going on within each one of your chakras. You see, every chakra is like a whole universe within yourself where you hold different traumas and things of that nature. So when you walking around and you like, damn, like my rent paid, I got a little bit of money, but why the fuck do I feel this way? Why the hell am I angry? Like, I don't have shit to worry about. Ain't nothing wrong with my car. But you still feel this negative energy on you. You know what that is? Those are traumas that you haven't dealt with. Those are energetic attachments from traumatic events that you've experienced when you was either a child, or it could have been last month, that you haven't transmuted that energy properly. So you're still holding on to that. Just like it's no different from an individual that gets out of a relationship that was pretty fucking toxic, and because they haven't healed, they can't attract anybody on a higher level, because you only can, remember, you know how they say in the Bible, God ain't gonna give you more than you can handle. That means that you won't get anything into your reality, or won't manifest anything into your reality higher or lower than the vibratory frequency that you want. This is why you keep attracting the same type of women. This is why you keep attracting the same type of men. This is why the same shit happens in all of your relationships, because you haven't healed the source. You ain't go to the soul. You got to go deep into the subconscious mind, and that takes energy manipulation. You got to understand that I teach on how to actually use your breath in a manner of holds and pauses and breathing in order to tip your brain into, how can you say, it's like a trance-like state, right? So think about it like this. Y'all know how they be like, oh, that's a subliminal message. All right, so you have the conscious mind and you have the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is allowing you to receive what you have going on here, right? But let me tell you, to receive what I'm saying and to think about what I'm saying. But what the subconscious mind is doing, the subconscious mind is downloading that picture right there in the back. And what that picture is doing is resonating with your fucking heart chakra. Do you see that right there? Right. You might not have noticed that. You might have thought about it for 1 second, but the subconscious mind noticed that. And that might pop up in your dream later. Because what this does is it's giving off an energetic frequency just based on the geometric structure of it. Right? Everything that you see, every geometric structure that you see is based on a vibratory frequency, and that emits a specific type of emotion. But this is the thing. When you're talking about the movies and you're talking about the music, they have these symbols, but they're distorted. So you hear the words, right? But the music is putting out fucked up subliminal messages and fucked up images in your head. You feel what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about the subconscious. So when you deal with the breath, we bridge that gap. We turn off the conscious mind, go straight to the subconscious mind. This is where you have the spiritual experience, where you start to step outside of your body, where you start to go literally back in time to those traumatic events that you experienced either as a child or as an adult. And you're not the one that's in there going through it. You looking at yourself experiencing that experience, and you're looking at it from a whole different perspective. This is what we're talking about when you start to step into your God mode. Because once you go back in time to actually heal and step outside of your body to heal, man, share this right now. Somebody need to hear this. Once you use the breath to go back into time, into having a different perspective on your traumas, literally looking at the situations that cause you emotional pain, emotional traumas from outside of your body. Don't matter if it was 10 years ago, don't matter if it was 12 years ago. Then you're able to move yourself out of that situation. So you're literally like, you know how the butterfly effect work, right? They go back in time and then everything changes differently. That's what we're doing when we're doing this meditation. You're actually going back in time and shifting around those energies to have a different perspective so that you no longer have to take it personal, right? Because every time you get pissed off, every time you get emotionally fucked with, the only reason that happens is because you took it personal in some type of way, like generational curses and things of that nature. We take that shit personal, right? Like, oh, they abused me. I got abused. But when you go back in time and you notice that, hold on, you was looking at yourself being the one that was abused, right? But either the father or the stepfather or the uncle, next thing you know, it changes places. You out of the picture, and they're the child getting abused. And the person that abused them, you can see that. And then it shifts where the uncle that was abusing you, he steps outside, okay? And now the one that was abusing him, he's the child getting abused. Do you see how it continues to go back? Once you start to see that, then you see that it was a generational curse that had nothing to do with you personally, and your only reason that you experienced that is so you could stop it. Your only reason that you experienced that is so you could pause the generational curse so it would not go down to the next generation. And a generational curse just don't have to be your immediate family, right? It could be people that you influence, people that is around you. You know those friendships and shit like that? Them frenemy type experiences where people just allow people to treat them any type of way in relationships and shit like that, and they don't even have to be dating, like all of that shit goes into it as well, right? So this shit gets really deep, and that's just one fucking chakra that you're going back in time to. But what I'm here to tell you is that once you balance that out, once you release that type of fucking energy, once you transmute that energy, what happens is you're able to now project into the future, project yourself into what it is that you actually want pertaining to that specific chakra. Okay, we're able to project yourself into an alternate timeline to where you actually see everything it is that you wanted to complete, everything that you wanted to do. You're developing emotional connection with it, just like you develop an emotional connection with looking and thinking about the past, about what happened. It's like you right there, right? Like, that's just not like no mental zoning out shit. Like, you literally there in spirit. You're literally experiencing that. When you go into your dreams and you have the emotion, you come back with those dreams, you're literally experiencing that. And so that's what the meditation do. It puts you in that spirit state. It puts you in the astral plane to where you can jump through these timelines. So you go from healing to manifesting and creating your reality because you're in balance. Manifestation works by being mentally, spiritually connected to what it is that you want to manifest through visualization and through experience. And it's easy to visualize if you're experiencing it on a spiritual plane. And then you come back and you're able to make all of the moves in order to have that happen on the physical plane. All right. So it actually starts with the healing. All right. Well, let's talk about the throat chakra, because a lot of people, they got some fucked up throat chakras. You feel what I'm saying? Right. When you're dealing with the throat chakra, we're talking about being able to express yourself. You know, we're talking about being able to actually, get out how you feel to somebody. You feel what I'm saying? Without causing any disturbances and things of that nature. Right. And when we're dealing with that, what we're talking about is being able to be in balance with that. A lot of people don't say the right thing when they need to, and a lot of people say the wrong thing when they don't need to. That's key right there for having an unbalanced throat chakra. You feel what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with getting imbalanced, then you're able to set clear boundaries within relationships. So certain things like that don't happen anymore. You feel what I'm saying? And I've said this in live streams before and things of that nature, but I think I got my point across here. And I'm about to go ahead and finish this little live stream up. I actually have some readings to do. So go to ashleysgrounding.com to book your tarot card reading with me. If you need answers about a specific situation that you're dealing with within your life, if you want to know about your whole life and everything that you're experiencing, book a natal chart reading with me or a birth chart reading with me. That's where I tap into your astrology. And if you need some help with shifting a situation, go ahead and hit me up, because I also do personal spells. Like y'all can see, this is our altar back here. You feel what I'm saying? That's the altar right there. You get what I'm saying? That is your spiritual workbench. When you're dealing with your altar, this is the first place you want to start as far as gathering the materials that you need in order to affect this reality on an energetic level. So you're talking about occult science. You're talking about understanding how these energies affect this reality. You're talking about sigils. You're talking about invoking specific energies. Get yourself an altar. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I ain't gonna sit up here and give y'all all of the game, because thing is this, God ain't gonna give you more than you can handle. A lot of y'all need to focus on healing first, because if you start dabbling into the shit and you're not in balance, you end up in situations like fucking young Dolph and shit. Like, real talk, like, just think about all the people that hit the fucking lottery, but their root chakra wasn't in alignment. What happens to them? They go missing, they get kidnapped, they get murdered. Right? It's because it's going against your alignment. The root chakra pertains to your financial stability, your fight or flight, and all of that type of shit. So if you're still living in a hell state and you ain't healed yet, but you're trying to manipulate these energies of the universe to bring you what you're not ready for, it's only going to cause negative situations to happen, more traumatic events to happen in your life, because you're not in alignment. So that's what we're talking about there. Right? So if you need some spells or anything like that done, go to somebody that understands how this energy works, so that you don't have to sacrifice something in order to get what you're getting, right? Because the sacrifice only comes when you're out of universal alignment. That was the whole point of this whole thing. And that's why I got into the chakras, so you can understand how to align yourself so that you can actually receive and stop living in that hell struggles type state. Right? We also do money spells. We do banishment spells if you need help getting out of a relationship. If you're dealing with constant, spirits and things of that nature fucking with you in your head and stuff, attachments that you've been dealing with as a child, like all of that is spiritual. All of that is based on your alignment. Do you feel what I'm saying? So when you see these sigils and things of that nature, understand that it's invoking a specific type of energy that is directly related to your astrology, that is directly related to something on the subconscious level, that's directly related to a chakra, right? I know it looked like jibber jabber and all of that type of shit, and you be like, damn, like they calling spirits and all this type of shit. A lot of people get into this shit and they really think that they calling on spirits, but the spirit is just a name that a culture gave a specific energy that pertains to universal law, just like when you're dealing with the Kemetic, right? All of those different anthropomorphic stories about, you had Nebthet, and Nebthet fucked with what's the name? Isis, and Isis fuck with Horus and all of that type of shit. When you hear about those mythologies, what they're doing is they're describing how these energies of the unseen interact with each other through anthropomorphic characters, right? So it makes it real easy for someone who doesn't know anything about occult science to understand it. But if you're not thinking in that direction, you think that it's just some type of myth and this is a god that you have to worship, when it's really the equivalent of, okay, this is fire, okay, this is air, okay, this is electricity, okay, this is mercury. Like, you're really describing certain elements and energetic frequencies that aren't physical, right? Like, how else would you describe something that's not physical besides making a story about it that people that are physical can understand when they have no idea about what is going on in the unseen? And so that's what you're seeing in all of these different, cultures and things of that nature, But I'm gonna go ahead and man, Josh, why the fuck is you here? Get the fuck out of here. See, that's why I didn't even look at the comments, because I knew it was going to be a bunch of spiritually dead motherfuckers in here running their mouth about shit they have no idea about. I just sat up here for the past hour explaining to y'all in depth about what the fuck I was talking about. But since you have no knowledge, you don't even, like, that's what I mean. It's levels to this shit, right? When you don't even have a toe to stand on and somebody says certain things to you, it goes over your head so far that you think that they don't even know what they're talking about, right? It's like, that's like this, right? You walk into a bank and instead of a person telling you no, you can't get the loan, right? They tell you the algorithm on why and the algorithm, well, because of this, blah, 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 blah. You don't even understand that fucking language. So you're gonna be like, I need to get this, but my I deserve this loan. You get what I'm saying? And they telling you energetically why you don't deserve that fucking loan. It ain't in the code. But you don't understand the fucking code, so you think you looking at them like they stupid. Like, you feel what I'm saying? That's what Josh got going on right now. That nigga, you see he trapped in hell, all he think about is street beef and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, that's do you. I'm not here to cast my pearls among swine. You feel what I'm saying? I'm only here for people who resonate with what I got to say and resonate with on my vibratory frequency. If it don't vibrate and it don't resonate, I'm probably gonna piss them off, right? That's why they say don't cast your pearls among swine, right? Because y'all seen Game of Thrones, a pig can kill your fucking ass, and that's on everything. If you piss a pig off, a pig will fucking kill you. You feel me? And so I don't direct my shit towards the people that's not ready. Just like in the Matrix. You remember how in the Matrix they had to get to the phone in order to get out of the Matrix. There's a lot of people walking around spiritually dead that's just caught up in this Matrix and the shit that's not even fucking real. I'm explaining the real to you, what is actually real. But just because you can't see it with your physical eye, you don't think that is real, right? But the whole thing about the Matrix was if a person wasn't ready to get to the phone in the Matrix and they pulled them out, they literally die. And that's symbolic of the fact of when you waking up and you trying to tell people this shit, trust me, I don't learn this the hard way. That's wrong. Waste my energy on it no more. But when you're trying to tell people things about just spirituality and about what shit really is and about who they really are, if they're not ready to hear it, it will literally, they'll have like a mainframe meltdown, right? Because all the things that they've told themselves and have harnessed within their mind, all the things that they have told themselves to maintain this psychic structure that, oh yeah, this reality is real. Like as you start to peel that shit away, they start to melt down, right? And so their defense mechanism, right, because they're having a spiritual death, right? In order to wake up, a part of you actually has to die. So that's their first defense mechanism, is to attack. Like, no, like I'm gonna keep this reality. So they'll do it in any type of way that they possibly can. Do you feel what I'm saying? Like, so a lot of the times it'll be your own family members coming at you, like, you know, especially if you try to pull them out of religion and they're not ready. They hold that shit dearly to their heart. That's what they live for. They live to be able to say, you know what, it's somebody that's gonna come and save me. I can do whatever the fuck I want. It don't even matter. All I gotta do is say, sorry, Jesus, and I'm gonna live all eternity in this blissful place. When that doesn't even make any sense. That's not even how universal law works, right? That's why religion is so fucking bad for you, because it takes away all self-accountability to do better. You putting everything outside of yourself. You are fucking God, okay? You are a God, you are a goddess, and you have the ability to control your own reality when you in alignment with yourself. It's just that we forgot that. We give all of our power to everything outside of us. Right, most of us don't even have the fucking balance enough within our own root chakra to walk away from that fucking slave ass job you've been working for so long to actually start to live your true path. This is how I got to the point that I'm at. My wife and I walked away from our jobs at the same time. I used to work in factories. I used to do door-to-door sales. I used to do all of that shit. Ashley was a pharmacy technician and all of that type of shit. And we both quit our jobs at the same time in order to walk our divine path, which is to help y'all. That's when we started ashleysgrounding.com. That's when we started putting out this occult science information, this metaphysical information. Like, we've been doing this shit before it was cool to be doing this shit. Before everybody got spiritual, I've been on this shit. Motherfuckers thought I was that weird ass nigga. Like, damn, what's shorty on? Whose man's is this? You feel what I'm saying? Like, but we stuck with it because we understand that it's a divine path. You got to have leaders. And in order for an individual to be a leader, they got to stick out of the pack. In order for an individual to be a leader, they got to have foresight. They got to be able to see into the future. And that's what you have to do. So the leader got to trust themselves before anybody else can trust him. You feel what I'm saying? The leader has to be like, you know what? Despite all of y'all niggas who don't know what the fuck is going on, I know where the fuck I'm headed. I know what the fuck I'm doing. You can call me crazy, whatever you want. We'll talk about it in the next 3 years or whatever like that when you're still in the same space. Do you feel what I'm saying? So this is where I'm coming from when we're dealing with this. I'm an Aquarian in the Aquarian age. Do you feel what I'm saying? Ashley is a Pisces. Her moon sign is Aquarius. Like, we built for this. If you look at my astrology chart, if you look at my numerology is 33. You feel what I'm saying? 30. If you go Google 33 right now, that's master teacher status. You feel me? I'm not here to brag out of ego, but I'm here to let y'all know that y'all can generally trust me because this is some shit I just do for part-time. Like, I do this shit full-time. You feel what I'm saying? Like, literally, this is my life. I'm not just on here talking because young Dolph died. You feel what I'm saying? But peace and love to everybody. If y'all interested in booking anything with me, like I said, go to ashleysgrounding.com. If you need a spiritual consultation and you just want to talk to me and ask me some questions and pick my brain, feel free to go ahead and book that with me as well. That's what I am here for. I'm like Morpheus in this shit. And each one of y'all is Neo. But remember, Neo had to get woke the fuck up. And Neo had a choice on whether he wanted to wake the fuck up or not. You feel what I'm saying? Neo had a choice. He was looking at Morpheus like he was crazy as fuck in the beginning. Some of y'all still in that state. I'm Morpheus. Remember, all of these movies and all of these different characters are describing us. They're describing the energies that we deal with and that we go through on a daily basis. Right in this moment in time, you in the Matrix. Your ass is Neo. You're getting a message. Neo, wake up. You feel what I'm saying? Wake the fuck up. Right? Who was sending him that message? Morpheus was. You feel me? It's time to wake the fuck up. All right. But peace and love. I do everything in alignment with the universe. If y'all looking for a spiritual message, hit me up. I do spirit, God message, all of that type of shit. Right. Look at that. 33. Y'all already know how we go. You know. But peace and love to everybody. I'm out. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. Matter of fact, share this video. You know somebody you know need to hear this right now. It might just wake their ass the fuck up. For real. But peace.